Hello, awesome friend. It is Coach Hudson here. And today we're going to do something to help really tie together everything that we've already talked about in these videos leading up to Bold. We've talked about commitment, true commitment, not fakey, dreamy goal commitment, like true commitment. We've talked about getting intentional in what you do, what you say yes to, what you say no to. We've talked about accountability and the fact that it's a gift. And I trust that at this point, you are more accountable than you may have been just a week or two ago. We've structure and calendar and the freedom that comes with that. And today we're going to talk about harnessing the power of the why that is inside of you. We're in an interesting industry. We're in an interesting general industry, even beyond real estate, just being entrepreneurs. We're the crazy people that wake up every day without a guaranteed paycheck. We wake up every day unemployed, and we're in an industry where some people make no money. Many people actually make very little money to no money. And then we have other people at the end of the spectrum that make not just millions, tens of millions, 20s of millions, insane amounts of money. What's the difference? I can tell you it's really nothing that crazy. They all have the same amount of time. They all started roughly with the same amount of resources. Your why, your purpose, that thing that burns inside of you, when you can really get clarity on what that is, and when you can harness your power and your drive to that why, you become unstoppable, like a freight train going downhill. So I want to talk about that today because I think the concept of purpose or big why, I think to a lot of us, it feels a little overwhelming, a little confusing, and it doesn't have to be. Before we even talk about that, I want to give you a little bit of freedom here. Hey, parents, if your big why is your kids and or your family, I think that's great. If you think that's what it has to be, I'm giving you permission to accept that that's not the case. Your why could be bigger than your family. It doesn't mean they don't matter to you. It just doesn't. It's what drives you. The days that you get up and get out of bed and crush it, what drives you in those days? What are you working towards? What are you looking to change? What are you looking to affect? What are you looking to create? And I can give you a really easy way for you to kind of get some clarity about your why. And it would look a little something like this. I'd have you write down at least three things. It could be more, and yet you don't want to confuse yourself. What are three things that you are just 10 out of 10 passionate about? The type of thing that you could be over at a friend's house for dinner, and this topic comes up, and you start going, and all of a sudden you look up and you and your friend have stayed up all night talking because you're that passionate about the subject. It needn't have anything to do with real estate, or it could. I'm just talking, what are you level 10, just fired up, passionate about? What matters to you? So you could write down three things like that. And then you'd write down another three things. Again, two, four, whatever. Don't go too crazy though. What are the things you love to do? So one is a feeling about a certain topic. The other is what actions do you love to do? Activities do you love to do? If you weren't worried about money and your time was free, what would you doing? If you do that and you have three for one and three for the other, and you look at them and you find a way to turn off the overthinking that most of us naturally do. I like to joke there's a little button on the back of your neck. You got to reach for it. If you find it, you can shut it down for a few minutes and just look at those six things and decide, what does that mean? How do you incorporate them all together? And what is that why? I can tell you for me, my big why, my purpose, and it's so beautiful being clear on it because for most of my life I wasn't. I wake up every day because I desire to show people that they can do it all and have it all, and they can enjoy the process. Other words, they can live as big as they want to live, they can succeed as big as they want to succeed, while still having a great life at home, having great relationships, taking time off, traveling, doing whatever it is. Like both can be had because there's too many people in the world that believe that it's one or the other. Both can be had and you can enjoy the ride. That is my purpose, to show people that they can do that, to help coach people to do that, to live like that so that I lead by example, again, showing people that they can do that. That's my big why. And it doesn't need to matter to you, it matters to me. And the days that I don't want to deal with all of this, the days that I don't want to people, the days that I don't want to pick up the phone or go to the office or get out of bed or deal with the kids or all of those things, I get up and I do it because I remind myself why I'm here. And most people go through their entire lives, honestly, not really knowing why they're here. I think you've probably met people like that. Maybe you're feeling like that. So, what are you passionate about? What do you love to do? Mash them into something that makes sense to you because it only needs to make sense to you. The difference between you and the number one agent in this industry, in this company, it's nothing. Don't tell yourself stories. You're just as talented, you're just as smart, you're just as resourceful. You have got to tap into a why that is so strong and so important to you that you'll go out and do the work. That's the difference. That's where it comes from. So I want to challenge you as we get closer and closer to getting in person for this bold journey. Really want you to give some thought to your why. I want you to poke holes in it. I think it's always easy to give a surface level answer. What is really calling to your heart? What is the type of thing? What makes you want to run through a brick wall? That's your why. That's your purpose. And the great thing about having a strong purpose is that it doesn't need to have anything to do with real estate. As long as you tie that passion to what you do every single day, you'll crush it so you can live that purpose. You'll crush it so you can fulfill that why. Part of why I continue to earn at a high level is that I have a strong, strong desire and commitment to affect the foster care system in my state where I live, Florida. My children are all adopted. It's very, very flawed. And I choose to show up at a high level every day so I have enough income to live the way that I want to live so I can stay within my purpose. And then I got this other little why and purpose that's sitting over here, which is to make change in that field, in the foster care system. I show up every day so that I can do that because without success, I can't do anything. I can show up and volunteer all of my time, and eventually I'm going to run out of money. And then I'll have to go back to work. So I get to be successful at a high level so I can fulfill all the things that matter to me. So I want you to think about this week. What are you passionate about? It might be something that you've never even said out loud to some of your loved ones before. Have some fun with it. Tie yourself to it. Tell other people about it. You know, there's this beautiful thing that when you live out loud and when you start to share your big why with people, your purpose with people, not only will you find those who will help you get towards that purpose quicker and live in it on a regular basis, you now give them permission to start thinking that way. And if all of us just did that, we would not live in a world like we do today where so many people live inside a very small, tight box. So go figure out your why. It could change a million times. If you're not clear on it, pick one that makes sense, march down that road. And if at some point it feels wrong, go back to the drawing board. We have got to have a big fat reason that we get out of bed every day. And none of you are going to go earn a ton of money just to earn a ton of money. The last thing I'll leave you with here in that regard is that if you've ever set a financial goal and not hit it, I would venture to bet that a big reason is that you didn't know what you would do with that money because it's probably money you've never earned before. So I like to say you've got to have a destination for every dollar. If you want to make 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, a million, 10 million, a billion, I don't care what it is. What are you going to do with the money? Because none of you just want a big pile of money. There's no Scrooge McDucks in here. What are you going to do with those dollars? When you have a destination for every dollar, you will go out and create the income. That's how we're designed. So go tie yourself to your why. Go think about what you want out of your life so you'll go earn what you need to earn to live that way. And I can't wait to meet you in person soon. Have the best day.